Alrighty, I'm going to give the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword a go. It's the one for Monday, November 27th. Probably going to spend about 30 minutes, then break for lunch, see if I can finish it up. One across, it's dope, somehow, get payment. Sounds like an anagram of it's dope. That means some kind of payment. Ooh, you can nearly get stipend. Ooh, deposit. How about that? That's a good start. And I was doing all the acrosses. Realize that's a very silly way of doing it. So let's do one down since we have the D. Bed heaving with lice. Oh, that's lovely. Making a bit of noise. So I'm thinking anagram of bed and lice. And making a bit of noise. Oh, a decibel, of course. A unit of noise. Two down, shore up and exit and circulate. Well, circulate makes me think of an anagram, but I think that might also be the definition. Oh, unless it, yeah, we need, if it is an anagram, we need the P from up. But yeah, not getting that one. It's a little confusing. Heartless harries up for wine. Oh, there is, yeah, I think it's harries backwards, missing its middle letter or letters for, I think there is something Syrah, Syrah. So I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know it for certain, but anyway, four down. Back in Hanoi, dark latte with a chatty broadcaster. So I'm thinking it's a hidden clue, but you read it backwards. So yeah, back from the first T in latte, we have talk radio. All right, let's go back to the crosses. Maybe we can finish the northwest corner. Singing group, well, C and ending in R has to be choir, right? Many papers reported. Yeah, there is a the word QUIRE for, I think, it's some fixed amount of pages is a choir, and so it's a homophone. 11 across, made a lot of noise about article and talked nonsense. Yeah, so I immediately thought with the about article that we would have THE in the middle, and then that made me think of blathered. And so we have blared, which has made a lot of noise about the. All right, and 13. South Americans back in a shopping center. Well, back again, we think something reversed, but I don't think it's a hidden clue because there's no L in there. South American, so maybe a word for a South American that you reverse. Back in a shopping center. No, I'm not thinking of a word for a shopping center, but of course it could be more confusing, maybe something for American. No, not getting that. We have more letters now for our shore up and exit and circulate. Well, circulate, of course, could be printing, publishing, distributing, but I'm not getting it. All right, 10 across. Fruit, getting fair, public attention. So I think it might be a word for fruit with a word for fair in the middle. And the whole thing means public attention, beginning with L. No, nothing's coming to mind. As St. Paul's finally said, march up. As St. Paul's, of course, it could be misleading as street, and then Paul's finally could be the L in Paul, but then the said suggests maybe a homophone. Wow, there seems a lot going on in that clue. All right, let's go. Oh, let's try 15 across. We have the D at the start. Disadvantages of feather edges. I'm immediately thinking of drawbacks for disadvantages. But no, I'm also thinking of feather can be down, downsides. Yes. Downsides, okay. 16 down now. We have the spooner. Oh yeah, I need to look up the answers. We had a spooner recently and I never worked it out. Spooners dispatched for a tinkle like the owl and the pussycat did. So the owl and the pussycat wasn't in some pea green boat or something. Oh, and so I think whatever it is, which I can't grasp right at the moment, we reverse the initial sounds of the words as the Reverend Spooner would have done. Dispatched is like sent. Ah, yes, they went to sea in the whatever kind of boat. So Reverend Spooner would have said sent to P. But actually we do. Yeah, sometimes I find with the crosswords, certain kinds, you don't know, do you put in the original way or do you put it in the, like the Spooners? So, but luckily we have the W, so it's went to sea. So maybe useful letters there. 17 down begins with a D. Cube by artist who can manage food. Well, I think it's going to be well, maybe it's just going to be food or manage food. But is that a phrase, to manage food? I don't know what that would be. So, but what's that? Oh, cube, of course, can be dice or die. By an artist can be RA. Manage is often run by artists, but then who can sounds funny. But I'm not seeing something that could start with dice. Diceram. Rarun. That doesn't mean anything to me. I'm sure some of you get this immediately, but I'm not seeing it. All right, let's try 18 across. Deride eating awfully twee vegan food. Well, awfully suggests an anagram. Yes, I think it's going to be a word for deride eating or surrounding an anagram of twee, which something like sweet, and then vegan. Oh, yes, sweet corn. So it's scorn around the anagram of twee. All right, so that gives us an S for 18 down. Where balls are to cast up in rugby formation. Well, yeah, scrum is shouting out to me, but it's something is in a rugby, so maybe we start with SC. Oh, okay, they are, wow. Very medical today. Scrotum. So TO is cast up or reversed inside of scrum to give scrotum. Was not expecting that. I hope they don't give the crossword compiler the sack for that. One way or another, give a citation. Wow, so one way or another suggests a word, palindrome, and give a citation. Refer, I think, fits the bill. Isn't that a form of citation in an article? You might refer to something. Ooh, now we get an F starting 22 down. F, feeble fire. Well, I presume it's a word for feeble, a four-letter word following that F, and means fire, which of course could be a burning fire or to fire somebody. Fire, or it could just be like metaphorical fever. I don't think ever would be feeble. What is another word for feeble? Weak. Lame. Oh, yeah, lame. Flame. Okay. Ooh, 25 across. Looks like it starts with T. Instructs Elliot to get boxes. Well, tea chests comes to mind, but how do we get... Oh, yes, so reading across the hyphen, we have teach us, T.S. Eliot. Yeah, there we go. I like that one. Of course, I like any one that I get quickly, but no, I really do like that one. Mostly metal or otherwise, covering tip of superconductor. I presume tip of superconductor is it the S or the R? Which would you consider the tip of the word? So maybe it means mostly, and then maybe a metal chemical element. Metal, mostly. What can come between M and E? Really, mostly, I think another E. mostly metal, or otherwise. Otherwise could be else. Could this be ELSE followed by the R from superconductor? I'm not getting mostly from that. It's probably something very obvious I'm just not seeing. Okay, let's get rid of that. Oh, 14 down, we have some then cracked up at the fart. Okay. Then cracked up at the fart. So I presume the definition is fart. Breaking wind, thing. Or maybe it could have mean then, like later something. Or no, that's intriguing. All right, let's look at some we haven't looked at yet. Fainted as a result of error in viral viral illness. Maybe I have a viral illness. Fainted as a result of error in viral illness. Well, is the flu a viral illness? And then you put a word for error in that. And does the whole thing then mean fainted? Or maybe the whole thing is a viral illness. Not getting it. Rearrange lunch. There's a deer. So you would think it must be an anagram of lunch. There's a deer. Wow, I'm not seeing Choln, Nulch. No, not getting it. I should have looked at 5 across first. State finding dodgy dealer has captured Charlie. Is it a 7-letter state, which could be a country or a US state? Dodgy dealer, I think, might be an anagram of dealer and captured C for Charlie. And of course, state could also just be to say something. Let's try our anagram helper, dealer C. Oh, declare. There we go. So I just looked at the circle rather than down below. I find that, more useful. Declare. Okay, so yeah, I should have done that first because now we get our starting letters. As St. Paul's finally said, march up. No, I was wondering if MAR might have been in it reversed RAM, but no way, that's the answer. As St. Paul's finally said, march up. No. 6 down. The fainted now, the viral illness begins with a C. Oh, Yes, so it is fainted as the definition, and the error is lapse, and that is put inside of cold, the viral illness. Okay, so that helps. Now our fruit getting fair public attention has another L. Public attention. Oh, limelight. Oh, so lime is the fruit. And fair, I suppose as in fair hair is light colored hair. Yeah, that makes sense. So angel, yeah, so within rearranged lunch is angel. Another hidden clue. Give much to the audience. Give much. I'm thinking of allow, or maybe a lot, to give to a lot, and then much could be all. And then what's audience? OT? OW? Let's try 8 down. Properties of cars. Okay, so that's double definition. Estates. So, of course, if you're not from the British Isles, you may not know about an estate car. I think, is that this? It's been so long since I'm gone. Is that the same as a station wagon in the US? Anyway, so must be a lot. I can't think of anything else that would fit. So we'll leave that in for now. 23 across. Find Matilda's a police officer. Could it be an anagram of Matilda's a? But find does not seem to me to be a reasonable anagram indicator if that is the case. Maybe detective, but find could be detect. And then how is Matilda IVE? No, I'm not sure about that. Here in Paris, which would be EC, nobody goes for starters of some cake. I saw nobody. Is that N or NO? I can't think of a cake with ICI in it. Oh, it's ICIEC, and then nobody goes for their starters or the N and the G that start those words of some cake. I think, yeah, icing you put on a cake, but I'm not sure you would say it's, well, I suppose it's some cake. A part of the cake might be it's icing. Yeah, I think that's probably the way it's supposed to be read. All right, 20 down has this nice G at the start of the second word. Corporations, uncontrolled urge to enter speculation. It sounds like it's an anagram of urge, meaning uncontrolled. And that goes in a word for speculation, which could be a bet. And the whole thing means a corporation. So that might be a U or an E, a corporation. Of course, they can be tricky, and it might mean a different type of corporation. I'm thinking of a company, but they might mean something else. Of course, the city council might be a corporation. All right, let's try 28 across. We have the starting A. Not in favor of, sounds like it starts with anti. A profit split after vacation. Well, no, now it sounds like the definition should be not in favor. And a profit split after, not in favor, of course, could be against. How would this work? The profit is gain. Split after vacation. Oh, I think the A, gain, and then I think split. Oh, yes. So vacation in this sense is emptying out, to vacate the premises. Very misleading, but I think reasonably so. So you empty out split to just get the S and the T. All right. Country tableware. Well, that has to be China. I don't think we're going to find an easier clue today. Of course, I'll probably find out with the crossing 23 across that that is not what it is at all. Well, detective still fits. But if someone knows why Matilda gives us the IVE, I know there's a children's book called Matilda. Is that Roald Dahl? But let me put it in for now, and we'll see. Okay, so 20 down, we have a few more. Well, providing a detective is right. Corporation, could it be something gut? Corporations. Yeah, not getting that. Well, I don't think I've looked at this yet. In double bed initially, sounds like we put something inside DB. Oh, which now if that is right, I think I know what 20 down is, but we'll come back to that. Diminutive nerd. So a little thing is wee, and it gives us a dweeb. All right, so 20 down. I think it must be beer gut, which your corporation, I think, can be your stomach. I'll have to look that up, but I think that might be correct. And so that is an anagram of urge inside of bet, just like I thought at the beginning. I should have followed that through. Anyway, now our cube by artist who can manage food. Well, die is still. Oh, yes, somebody who manages food is a dietitian. Okay, so we have our die. Oh, I think it's a T to give the artist. Yeah, Titian the artist, dietitian. And that is somebody who can manage food. All right. So southeast is finished. Northeast almost. Dimed would fit. Domed, like as St. Paul's Cathedral is. And then finally said is, of course, the final letter of said, D. And then march up, oh yeah, demonstration march. I think this is a very English expression to call it a demo. I immediately think of a demonstration of software, of course, a musical demo, but domed. Yes, but that's tricky, but I like it. As St. Paul's is the definition, domed. All right, so all of the right-hand side is done. 23 down. Oh, I don't think I've looked at this one either. Nightclub, 50% discounted. Oh, I think this is another very easy one. Half of discounted is disco. Do the kids today still call a nightclub a disco? I wouldn't think so. I think they just call it the club. Maybe that's even old-fashioned nowadays. If there's anyone under the age of 25 watching, which is unlikely, please set me straight on that. All right, only a few left, all on the left side. Go back to shore up. Shore up, of course, can be prop. And now propagate sounds like, yeah, so prop a gate means to circulate, yeah, like that. South Americans back in a shopping center. No, are there, yeah, again, I may be wasting my time trying to think about South American people. Native peoples are national. I can't think of any South American country beginning with L. Ooh, yes, but maybe if I stop thinking about people, we have a llama, which is backing up a shopping center, a mall. I like it. Okay, back to our fart. Then I think might be the definition after. I can see, yeah, we have letters from fart. So I think this is going to be an anagram of at the fart. Yeah, so let's use our, I shouldn't have to, but, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to click on that. There we go, shuffle. Oh, I forgot to, after, oh, at the fart, there we go. After that, yeah, so definitely should have been able to do that without resorting to the helper. After that, then, okay. Not so sure I like that one, but anyway. Mostly metal are otherwise covering tip of superconductor. It ends in an O, which should be helpful. Again, I'm stuck with what comes between M and E. M-I-E, M-U-E, M-O-E, M-Y-E, O-M-N, of course, mnemonic, etc. Mostly are otherwise covering tip of superconductor. Maybe it means a superconductor. Mostly metal. Well, I'm not getting that at all. MEE. Mostly metal, of course, can be most of the word metal, META, R, and then maybe an anagram of R, OR, so maybe just RO, and then covering tip. Could it be mostly metal? Oh, maestro. Oh, yes. A superconductor is a maestro. Oh, very tricky putting it all together. And so then I think it is the R flipped around, meaning R otherwise, and the tip of the super covering tip of um yeah, covering tip of super I think is just, and then conductor is the definition. Although I think you can read it both ways, but yeah, the S, and then mostly metal. I mean, we've sort of rearranged the letters a little bit, but I'm happy with that. All right, filled everything in, so let's check all, confirm. Looks like that is all correct. So 36 minutes and a few seconds, almost 37. I'm happy enough with that, but it is Mondays, which is supposed to be the easiest day of the week. And let's see, someone from Watford, one of my fastest finishes ever. A few chuckles. Oh, I never, yeah, I think the people who do it regularly always look at who the setter is, and they know them, they know their styles. And so now that makes sense with the Matilda's is short for Matilda has. And so if the setter was saying it, they would say, I have, I've. Yeah, I need to get in the habit of looking at the setter's name. All right, well, hope you enjoyed that. If you have any tips for me on how I can improve at these crosswords, please let me know. Thank you for watching and have a great day.